What's up, guys? Dynasty Rewind here. We're doing a NFL mock draft, full first round, all 32 picks. I'm joined here with Bob Ben _IDP and at Nate NFL. How are we doing today, boys? I'm excited to mock. How about you?
Can't wait. Let's roll.
I'm excited. I watched your guys' last one. It looked like a lot of fun. So
Yep.
Did you
and
actually
it is,
watch
man.
it?
I watched some of it. I didn't watch the whole thing.
It's better to
I
be
I
a
just skipped
part
to the
of.
Ravens pick, and I was like, okay.
You
didn't like it,
you
huh?
understood it though, but you understood it. So let's go to the mock. We got it on the draftnetwork.com. Thank you guys for having such a good site. And on the clock is the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're gonna obviously know who this pick is. There's no doubt about it. Trevor
Justin
Lawrence.
Fields.
Do you guys want to
Mac
say?
Jones.
Do you guys want to say anything about Trevor Lawrence?
There's not too much to be said. I mean, he is, I think, the pretty much consensus quarterback one. There's gonna be some guys out there trying to tell you that he's not. That's a hot take. That's just trying to be hot, I think. I love Justin Fields, but Trevor Lawrence, he's a product of overanalyzation at this point, where he could have gone first round coming out of high school. So people have just heard about him for so long that they're just trying to find the smallest flaws they can. It's not perfect, but he's the best prospect to come out at quarterback since Andrew Luck. So don't overcomplicate it.
Yep.
Agreed. Yep, and he's got nice hair, so he's got the
Got some
Herbert
locks.
hair.
It's going to be sad when he chops him off. Like, I was so upset when Herbert chopped his hair off.
Oh yeah, me too. It ruined my whole year. It ruined my fantasy year.
I
after
dropped him.
traded for him. Ooh. And up next on the clock, we got the Jets, and the obvious decision here would be Justin Fields. But you know, the Jets being the Jets, they might go Zach Wilson and think he's the next Mahomes. But what do you think it's going to happen, Nate? I'm going to throw this one to you.
Yeah, I know you're throwing this one to me because I said before the mock that I think the right move is Justin Fields, but I think what the Jets do is they go Zach Wilson. I think they trade Sam Darnold for a second and a fourth or something like that. And I think they go with the super upside, the next Mahomes, quote unquote. Small chance of that, but I guess they go for it with Zach Wilson. But hey, who knows?
They took Zach
only
Wilson
thing I'm
because
gonna
they're the Jets. You go, Bob.
Yeah, so the only thing I'm going to add to that, I agree. I think I mentioned too before we got on that, last year they took the high upside pick with Mekhi Becton. So it almost kind of plays into the fact that maybe they go Wilson here. And they got Joe Douglas at GM. He's got a knack for scouting talent. Maybe he sees something in the guy, he falls in love with him and makes him his guy at number 2. So on to number 3 in the Dolphins. I don't want to mock Devonta Smith here again. I want them to make a pick that makes a little more sense. I'd like to shoot with Penei Sewell here. Give him something on the line to, give Tua help. Maybe Tua's a guy, maybe he's not. But without a good line, you're never going to find out. So, thoughts, boys?
Yeah, I like Penei
think that makes
Sewell, and
sense.
they need a tackle.
Yep.
So if you see the Dolphins trade back, expect them to take offensive linemen. Then if a wide receiver does not fall to them, that they
I think
will
the
obviously
Dolphins
defend
have
the guys.
had a really smart rebuild. I think, they've spent a lot of draft capital in the trenches, and it's already paying off.
Yep.
And if they continue to do that, it will pay off even more because right now they're missing just one tackle, it looks like, and maybe a center. But those are you can get those pieces later in the draft, especially with centers. But yeah, this next pick, it's the Falcons, and this one's an obvious one for me. They're gonna roll with Matt Ryan for another year, but to sit under Matt Ryan is Justin Fields. I think that Justin Fields is going to be a very nice complementary piece to this new offense that Brown, what's his name? Arthur Smith is running.
Arthur
Yeah.
Smith. Yep.
Arthur Smith is really good with running the football, and Justin Fields is good at running the football as well. So I like the fit there with the Falcons, and if the Falcons could possibly get a running back in round 2 or 3 to complement Justin Fields, I would really like that offense for the future.
Yeah, like I said before the mock, that when we were in the pre-mock in the waiting room, like I think if it falls this way and Justin Field is there at 4, I think the Falcons trade out. Um, with the fact that they want to stay with Matt Ryan for another year, it's probably a better idea to go ahead and grab your franchise quarterback, have him under rookie contract for 5 years. I mean, it makes sense. Um, but I think this is a great pick here because Matt Ryan is definitely coming to the end of his career, and Justin Fields is a talent. It's just really hard to pass up on. He's really good, and I think he would fit that new offense great. You know, so and he could use a year behind Matt Ryan. Who couldn't use a year behind Matt Ryan?
My cousins are from
right.
Georgia, and you know what they call Matt Ryan?
No,
Sack Ryan.
No,
that's kind of mean.
it's not even clever.
I know. And I'm just like, Matt Ryan's a great quarterback. He's good for fantasy purposes. So I like him. But you know, obviously he costs. There's some blood there between fans and Matt Ryan. So I think Justin Fields would be a welcome sight, especially since he's from the state of Georgia, and he originally joined the UGA team and transferred away to Ohio State. So I think that it would be a good reunion for Justin Fields, especially in Atlanta. The 105, we have the Bengals on the clock. I'm throwing this one to Nate because he is scheming over there. He's got a pick in mind.
I do. So I think the Bengals are a little pissed. They won a couple extra games and couldn't get a P-Nice Super Bowl. So I think they're going to go ahead and grab the guy to Northwestern, Slater. They need to protect Joe Burrow. He's coming off the ACL injury. They have to give him more offensive line. I would not be surprised for them to get some guys in free agency as well as draft. They just really need to upgrade both sides of the line, both on defense and offense. And I think it starts with offensive tackle and giving, Joe Burrow, you can't have him get injured again. I mean, you gave your first overall pick with him. You have to keep him healthy.
So the pick is Slater.
Slater,
Works
who's
for me.
actually, hey, this might be another aspect of overanalyzation, but I know that some teams do like Slater as the offensive tackle 1 in the class.
I
have
like
heard
Slater
that as
a lot
well.
too, but I'm not sure if I could put him over Sewell. The next pick I'm throwing it to Bob because he has to decide between wide receiver, tight end, or corner.
Quarterback.
I wouldn't say that. The owner has expressed much interest in keeping Hurts around. So let's just say that it's Hurts' job to lose. And I think that they're not going to go quarterback at this pick. So Bob, what do you think they're going to do?
I am going to roll with wide receiver here. I think they've gone 2 back-to-back seasons overdrafting, missing a guy. Last year they missed out on Jefferson. Year prior they missed out on DK Metcalf. I think they want to end that trend, and I think they're going to go with Jamar Chase here. He's a guy. He's going to be your true alpha, big, strong. Pretty much good at everything. And I think he'll be kind of somebody who maybe opens up Rager. I'm not a big Rager fan, whatever. But I think maybe having a dominant presence with Jamar Chase, getting it right at wide receiver, giving Hurts somebody to throw to. I like the pick there. I don't really see anywhere else it could have gone. Maybe I could have seen corner. I could have seen linebacker. But too early for tight end for them. They don't need tight end. They got Goddard. So, yeah, I'm rolling with Jamar Chase, and I'm pretty happy with that pick for them.
Yeah, I like that pick. And I think, if it's a toss-up between the wide receiver 1A and 1B and Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase, I think Jamar Chase fits that offense better. I think he complements Rager better. So I like that pick.
Yeah, up next is the Detroit Lions. They have a lot of needs. Their team is depleted. But they're ready to bite ankles, man. So, I don't know who they're going to go here. It's kind of a toss-up. They could use a quarterback to go behind Goff if Goff's not the thing because they have such a high pick. It would make sense to take Trey Lance here. But But, I think that they want to build around Goff because this is the Rams regime that they did bring in. And I think they're going to go Devonta Smith and give him a weapon.
All right. I like that. I like that fit. I like Devonta Smith with Goff. He's a guy that does a lot of after the catch, and that fits, how
It
Jared
reminds
Goff
me
plays.
of Woods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah. So that's the pick. It's not a sexy one, but, Detroit Lions get a wide receiver.
All right. Man, the Panthers up next. And I kind of wanted to give him a quarterback because, Tepper, he's saying he wants a franchise quarterback. He really wants a franchise quarterback, and I'm not sure if the quarterback he's looking for is out there in free agency or available for trade. If you're going to let me make this pick, I at least want to hear Bob's ideas on if there's any defensive players that the Panthers could pick up here.
See, I struggle not picking corner here. Either Surtain, Farley, Horn, any one of them I'd be okay with. I also struggle not picking Parsons here. I've been very fond of drafting Parsons to the Lions at 7. A guy who can kind of be a tone setter of sorts, somebody who can be an enforcer on that defense. And he can be the same thing in Carolina. Last year they went 7 for 7 defense. And they needed it. I mean, their defense was terrible. They were 32nd ranked the year prior to last. So I have a tough time not going defense here again. A lot of the reason being, I think he wants a franchise quarterback, but I don't think he's here right now. Lance, he's going to need time, not a day one guy. Mm-hmm. If Wilson would have felt
Bob is muted, but if he said if Zach Wilson would have fallen, that they would have taken Zach Wilson to pair with Christian McCaffrey. I think that would have been a good pairing.
Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields also, if he was sitting here, there is no way the Panthers do not take Justin Fields.
Yeah. So I don't see a way that they don't take Trey Lance, though, as well, because Trey Lance has that rushing upside that Justin Fields has as well, and has a cannon of an arm. He's more of a risk. But this is a prospect that Matt Rule would like because of his athletic measurables and his standout performance based on, look, he took Derek Brown. He likes his guys who are raw and, just give him Trey Lance, I think, and let him mold him.
Yeah, I personally agree with Bob. I don't think Trey Lance is the pick here. I just think there's too much work. I don't think he's a day one guy. And I do think that they probably draft a cornerback or Micah Parsons here.
The question is, who is our corner 1 in the class? I am very high on J.C. Horn. He's my favorite corner in the class, but I know Caleb Farley's high on everyone's boards.
Yep, and I'm actually not a huge fan of Surtain.
Yeah, Surtain is okay. He's good in run support. He reminds me of Jeff Okudah. Good in run support. Decent. He had a lot of snaps, though, which is a nice thing at Alabama, so he had a lot of time to develop. He's not a bad corner by any means. We're not talking down on Patrick Surtain. We think he's a first-round pick.
Feels like it.
But it's just...
There's a good group at the top here.
Yeah, it's hard to distinguish. And I even like this name from Northwestern, Greg Newsome II. I watched his tape, very sticky in man coverage and good in cover 3. I like him a lot for the Seattle defense. He's a little sneaky.
I think if I had to pick one here, I think I'd pick Caleb Farley or Micah Parsons. So I'm going to toss it up to you guys.
They need a corner, so we're going to give them Caleb Farley, I think.
I think it's a good fit. In that conference, you're going to need corners that can match up against some stud wide receivers. I think it's a solid pick.
Mm-hmm. So up next is the Broncos. They have a need at linebacker. They have a need at edge. They have a need at corner as well. Then you have a need at quarterback because Drew Lock is not the thing. They do need an offensive tackle. Garrett Bowles was their last offensive tackle pick in the first round, I believe. And then wide receiver, I wouldn't say is not really a need as they have Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. So,
and KJ
Hamler. So I don't think wide receiver is a need.
And Tim Patrick.
Yeah, Tim Patrick's good, man.
Yeah.
If Cortland Sutton wasn't coming back, I'd be all over Tim Patrick.
So the obvious choice is to go defense here. So, Bob, what are your thoughts on the defensive prospects available?
I'm smashing Micah Parsons here. There's no way he makes it past Vic Fangio.
Mhm.
This is a guy who, I don't know how familiar you guys are with the Denver defense. Last year, Josie Jewell actually made some pop as a blitzing linebacker, and that is Micah Parsons' wheelhouse, being a blitzing linebacker, coming off the edge, blitzing up the middle. I mean, Micah Parsons is a dream come true for Vic Fangio.
Yeah, and it's a good person to put next to Bradley Chubb and Von Miller for sure. That's a good defense you're looking at. So I like that pick. Coming up next, Dallas Cowboys. They have a need at offensive tackle. They have a need at tight end. They have a need at edge. They have a need at interior defensive lineman. Have a need at corner as well, as they always have needed a corner. So do you think they go corner here, or do you think they just skip past it and go for the sexy pick? Because it's a Jerry Jones.
The Jerry Jones thing to do, isn't it?
I would definitely think Kyle Pitts is on the board here. I personally am a fan of Patrick Surtain here. They need a corner, and they need one that can help them run support. Last year they were run all over last year. So a corner that can not only defend the pass and definitely help out in run support. Gives them two young corners. Trayvon Diggs was drafted last year. So it gives them two young corners to build a defense
Alabama,
inward
correct?
through. Both, yes, correct.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's why I think he kind of just feels like a Cowboy in this draft. If he makes it there, I feel like he's the pick.
Yep.
Yeah, so up next is a controversial pick, is the Giants. I'm going to make this pick for them because I want to, and it's what I think is the best fit for this offense. And it's a wide receiver, and it's Shoddy B.
I love it.
Rashod Bateman. He
Just
just
when you get the comments again.
The worst
okay.
pick in the draft.
It's okay. They can say that, but is David Gettleman?
Wash my hands.
Is David Gettleman?
I'm here for
Rashod
it.
Bateman is my wide receiver 3 in the class, and wide receiver 4 technically. He's 3A with Rondale Moore, but so Rashod Bateman, I like him a lot, and he's tall. He's basically what they're looking for in Allen Robinson and Kenny Golladay on the free agent market. So give them a guy who can go up and get it for Daniel Jones, because Daniel Jones is not known for throwing to separators. So give him a big target.
All right.
And he stays healthy.
God knows they need it with that core.
49ers.
I know who you want here.
You know who I want here? Ooh, Mac Jones. Look at that guy. I like the idea of Mac Jones, but I think Kyle Shanahan likes the idea of Trey Lance.
Yeah.
I think Kyle Shanahan is going to be all about Trey Lance. Can you imagine the offense that he could put together with Trey Lance at quarterback? I know it'd be incredible. I think if he's there, just Kyle Shanahan and his creative offensive mind, it is just too good of a match for Trey Lance. And Trey Lance can sit for a year behind Jimmy G, and then they have a little bit better of an out with his contract. And Trey Lance can take over year 2 and probably ball out.
They'll end up trading Jimmy G mid-season because Trey Lance will overtake Jimmy G. Trey Lance is better, man. I don't know if they'll have to lung puncture him like Tyrod Taylor to get Trey Lance on the field, but he is a much better quarterback, man. He has the rushing upside in that Shanahan offense. He's got a good arm. He has a live arm, which is a big thing. So he's got a loose cannon at the quarterback position, and that's what Shanahan wants. He finally got his wide receiver alpha in Brandon Ayuk last year. Go get your quarterback to throw to your wide receivers besides the guy who can only throw to the ball behind the line of scrimmage, and Jimmy Garoppolo. So get a quarterback who can push the ball down the field. I had to slander his name.
Trey Lance, though.
Anything you want to add on Jimmy Garoppolo there, Bob? You look a little heated.
No, I was just laughing. That's all. I thought it was pretty hilarious. You sawing down Jimmy G, but no, I like the pick. I mean, you look at the rushing lanes that are wide open now for running backs in San Fran. Imagine just how disgustingly wide open they'll be with a rushing quarterback at the helm. Just what a disgusting rushing attack. You know, a guy who has supreme upside with Lance and a guy who I think could probably get the most out of him. It's one of those kind of supreme fits of the draft, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, and the news is that Shanahan is in love with Justin Fields, so I think that Trey Lance is a great alternative to Justin Fields at this point because they're not trading up in our draft because we're not doing any trades. So I think Trey Lance is the right pick. Moving on, we got the Chargers here. They have needs at the interior line. They have needs at offensive tackle. They have needs at edge. They have needs at linebacker. They have needs at wide receiver. They could use a lot of pieces here, and there's a lot of good names here on the board still.
This is probably one of my favorite picks to mock.
Go ahead.
This is my dream landing spot. If I had to pick one for the whole first round, I think this is probably the dream landing spot. I say that the Chargers let Hunter Henry walk and they pick up Kyle Pitts, and you have Justin Herbert with Kyle Pitts. Oh my gosh. Please.
Forever.
Oh my gosh. That would be it'd be so good.
Yeah, I like it. And I heard that on, I think, a podcast with Garrett Price of the Dynasty Nerds, and he mocked Kyle Pitts to the Chargers, and I like that. And I've agreed with that fit as well. And I think that every team from pick 13 to pick 17, up until pick 17 could use Kyle Pitts. So, up next is the Vikings. Last time we mocked them Jalen Waddle because he fell to them. I think that adding that kind of wide receiver would be good for that offense. Nate, we're going to give it to you this time because Bob and I decided to go a little bit of a shocker last time. Let's play it safe and throw it to Nate.
You decided.
What are the thoughts?
I'm thinking that they're going defense here. They have Dalvin Cook. They have Justin Jefferson. I think Adam Thielen they're still happy with. They can get another year or two out of. And I think they will probably grab a wide receiver later in the draft. But I think after these top guys go, and I think Waddle's still a top guy, but I think teams are going to realize, no, this is a deep class and not maybe, work over each other to try to find a wide receiver. They're going to not give such premium to that position this year. So I think they go defense. Their defense was horrible to start last year. I mean, it was one of the worst defenses to start the year, and they just lost a lot of pieces last year, and they need to really rebuild that defense. So I'm not sure what the best position is. I don't know if they need a linebacker because I know there's a linebacker here who I'm ready to pick at any moment, but I'm not sure if that's really a position of need for them.
They have Troy Dye, Eric Wilson, and then some other developmental pieces as well as they re-signed Anthony Barr and Eric Wilson. So yeah, I don't think linebacker is a need at all for the Vikings. It's not one of their auxiliary needs at the end. Mm-hmm. So linebacker would be a little bit of a
there's not really a defensive line player I'm ready to pick yet.
I want to save that linebacker prospect for pick 19, Nate. So let's come back to that later. But let's talk about the Vikings here. They do need defense, but what kind of defensive prospects are available besides Kwity Paye out of Michigan?
Do we still have Jesus?
They did not like Rousseau there. They're barking at it.
Yeah, no. No kidding. Okay, they stopped.
We get JC Horn.
I think JC Horn is my pick here. I don't mind Kwity Paye. He needs to go to a place where he can develop. Mike Zimmer will do that. He could take him. I do think they have some developmental line pieces already that they like. So I think I'm fine sitting with the pieces they have.
Yeah, I like that. The Vikings are notorious for taking a corner in the first. Mm-hmm. JC Horn is my corner one. He's sticky in man coverage. He's shut down his side of the field. His teammate Izzy, I can't say his last name, but his teammate actually had more interceptions than him. And I like that whole defense as a whole for USCAR, we'll call them. So I like their backfield. So I like the pick. Last time we gave him Waddle, this time we gave him a corner, so Viking fans are probably going to hate us, but that's okay. We're doing what we think is best for your team. Up next is the New England Patriots, and they do need a quarterback. This is a perfect place for Mac Jones.
Agreed. I want to ask, why is quarterback not the first team need? Because their
have no
cornerback,
idea.
I mean, their quarterback right now is who? What's his name?
Jarrett Stidham.
Auburn. Yeah,
Jarrett Stidham.
How is that not the number one need for the Patriots?
Oh, he was a
Stidham's
5th
good.
or 4th round pick, so he must be good.
He did really good in the preseason that one time.
Yeah, really good. He was basically Jalen Hurts. So up next is the Cardinals. They have a need at corner. They have a need at running back, which I do agree with. They do need a running back because Kenyon Drake can be your 1 to 2, your first and second down back, but you do need a third down back in that offense. I don't know if it's the guy out of.
Well,
I
Kenyon
can't
Drake
remember.
is a free agent.
Okay. So is running back the pick here, or are they going to go Quiddy Pay?
I think it's too early for a running back. I mean, I think there's a chance that with their second pick, they can get one of the top running backs. I mean, last year we saw at this point in the draft, this third pick in the second round, that's when we saw the running backs going. We had 5 running backs in the second round in 2020, which was the most running backs in any round of that draft. So I think going forward until something changes, the second round is where most teams are going to pick up their running backs, like the top guys.
I think they do have a need at wide receiver here. I don't know why it's listed last. I think it's a lot higher than the need at interior offensive line, interior defensive line. I think that Jalen Waddle would be the perfect fit in this offense because Christian Kirk has been okay. He's okay. He'd be better as a wide receiver 3 on a team than a wide receiver 2. But you have DeAndre Hopkins. Why not pair him with Jalen Waddle here? Is that the thoughts?
I see it. I see the Waddle pick and I see the Pay pick here. I think it's a toss-up. So
Let's start with the Bob then.
For me, it comes down to Waddle and the O-line. So I think Waddle is our consensus then.
all right.
Okay. Jalen Waddle to the Cardinals. I like that fit a lot. If that fit happened, that's basically what they wanted Andy Isabella to be in that offense. So let's see what Jalen Waddle could do in Arizona. And up next is the Oakland Raiders. They have a need literally everywhere on their team. Corey Littleton was their big free agent signing last year, and he did not do a lot for them. So I would still say they need a linebacker. I would say they need an edge rusher. I'd say because Max Crosby took a step back. There's a lot of needs on this team. So let's start with Bob because he's our defensive specialist. Bob, what's the pick? Nate, did you want to say something?
Oh,
Go
no,
ahead.
I think the guy you're saving for pick 19 would look nice here. Just saying.
I don't
But he'd look
I
a
don't
lot
really
better
think
at
they need a
19.
linebacker.
All right.
I don't think they really need a linebacker here. I think edge is a better spot for them. So I like Gregory Rousseau here. He's going to be about the highest upside of any player here. It's kind of weird to see an edge go this freaking late. But it's kind of an ambiguous class. It's kind of an odd class where there's no real. If Russo would have played this year, it's a good chance that that would be the case where, he would be a top 5 pick, but he opted out and it is what it is. But, he fits exactly what they need, gives them an upside swing and, they need somebody on that line and, Cleveland Ferrell ain't it. Max Crosby might be it, but they need something.
Yeah, I like it. Gregory Rousseau fits what the Raiders like to draft in athletes. They drafted Arden Key in the 3rd round when Arden Key had a lot of character concerns. Arden Key's been all right as an edge rusher. So I think if you pair Gregory Rousseau with Arden Key, you have a pretty good core there. Max Crosby could be a really good guy to come in and just be a guy to get some pass rushing reps when you need him. For the next pick, it's the Dolphins, and the Dolphin fans are now upset that I took Jalen Waddle at pick 16 because they are on the clock. Nate, what are your thoughts on this pick? Do you think they're going to go offense or defense? What are the team needs?
I think they have to go defense here. I just don't think the value is there. As much as I love Naji Harris, I don't think in the NFL draft he's going to be picked this early. I think he'll be picked at the end of the 1st round, early 2nd, just because of how the position's been devalued. And I don't think there's a wide receiver on the board that they are ready to reach for. I think with the 4 wide receivers that have already been picked, as much as we love Rondale Moore, I don't think he is the pick here. So I think it's got to go offense. I mean, defense, because they've already picked offensive line.
Bob, what are your thoughts?
I think I agree. There's not a wide receiver would be nice here, but just I don't really like the.
They got enough picks; they can pick up one
value.
later.
Right. I don't really like the value there. I'm kind of looking at since we already went line, offensive line that is. I'm kind of looking at Kwity Paye. They honestly could use a linebacker. A lot of their linebackers are free agents, but yeah, they're going to go linebacker. They're going to go Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah here. So
Ooh,
yes,
that's what's
this
going to
guy is a
happen.
little interesting there.
That'd be a good pairing with Jerome Baker, wouldn't it?
The reason being is that he's so versatile. It's going to be a shame if he doesn't go somewhere with a defensive mind that can use him. And Brian Flores is just the guy. He'll love him. He'll make him thrive there. I really like him at pick 19 too. But I just think, with what's available, I got to go JOK there.
Nice.
All right.
I like it.
That pick is JOK with me. Up next we've taken 2 offensive tackles. There's not really a quarterback here that I would take in the first round. So I'm giving them an offensive tackle, and it's not listed as an offensive tackle. That is Elijah Vera Tucker. He's my favorite left tackle left. So
Love him.
Give me Elijah Vera Tucker in that scarlet and gold.
Yeah, if there was any way that he could drop to pick 27, I would freak out in the NFL draft because that's the guy. That's the guy I wanted for the Ravens months ago, before he was getting all the hype he is now. And he's just a guy who can play every single position on the offensive line and play them well. So, that versatility
he's a mauler, dude.
Is ridiculous.
When he sets his anchor, he is not moving. He has a great anchor at left tackle, and that's what I like. It's his tape is phenomenal.
Yep.
Like he punches people, dude. The right tackle too for USC that's going to be coming out in a couple of years. Look out, that dude throws the meanest punches at the tackle position. If you watch USC film, just watch the right tackle. He's nasty. He's funny to watch too. Up next is the Bears pick. They have a needed interior offensive lineman, which I think is a really good fit here. They have a need at wide receiver, which I think is a fit here as well. But there's not many wide receivers left that I would go in the first round, though. So what are we thinking here for the Bears? It's not Kyle Trask, is it?
No.
God, no.
Certainly not Kyle Trask. They're not going to go from Mitchell Trubisky to Kyle Trask. I think we see another offensive lineman. I think we see one of the offensive tackles. I think that line was just really bad. It was hard to establish a run game. It was hard to keep whatever quarterback was back there safe. I think the Bears have to look themselves in the eye and say, we have to rebuild this thing. It's going to take 2 or 3 years at least. So, you got to start with the offensive line.
Yep, I agree. 100%.
Leatherwood would make sense here. Christian Darrisaw would make sense here. I don't know why the Draft Network has Leatherwood at 44th overall. He has a lot of positional versatility, so I think that he's going to be a first-round pick. But I think it's going to be Christian Darrisaw. He's my top tackle. You don't like Christian Darrisaw?
No, I like Darrisaw. I don't like Leatherwood.
He's very up. I've seen a lot of different takes on him. I've seen him as a second rounder, a third rounder. I've seen him as a first rounder. So,
yeah, I like him in the second or third. I'm just the first is a little high for me, especially with what's available. I love Darrisaw, Slater, Vera Tucker, and obviously Sewell. But to me, Leatherwood just doesn't even hold a candle to those guys. So,
I think Leatherwood's also more for right tackle, and the positional value is not there.
Yeah,
Sure.
and the positional value here is for the Colts. They're going to take Kwity Paye, I think, if this is the pick. They have a need at everywhere. They could take Christian Barmore and pair him. But I think Kwity Paye can play both positions that Barmore does and be more athletic. So it's going to be Kwity Paye, and they're going to develop him because they like their athletic freaks on defense.
Yeah.
Yep. I like Kwity Paye a lot. I think he just needs to work on his pass rush moves. He's a great run defender, but he doesn't bring that same tenacity of getting to the ball carrier as he does getting to the quarterback. If somebody can break him of that, man, he's going to be a dude. If he's going to be one of those guys that really pops in this league and emerges in this class as a great option.
He fell into a lot of sacks, just a pure bull rusher at this point. But his bull rush is very effective at the college level, and that's something that Rashawn Gary did well at Michigan, and Kwity Paye is kind of similar. So I think that he's a very thick build, reminds me of Brandon Graham. So I like Kwity Paye, and I think that the Colts need an edge rusher, so give them an edge rusher like Kwity Paye. I think that this is a steal at this point in the draft.
Yep. Yeah. Agreed.
I think you got the right idea here with the Titans.
Yeah. Yep. And up next, I'm going to give them Christian Barmore. I'm going 2 picks in a row for myself. They're building their trenches. Yeah. And I think that they do have a need at offense on their offensive line. But Christian Barmore makes sense here. They need defense more than they need offense. I do not like the offensive coordinator that they hired. I will say that. I'm not a fan of that hire. But defense obviously needs a lot of work.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot. I like Barmore.
Yeah, love Barmore. Yeah, I mean, Barmore will open up opportunities for Jeffrey Simmons to pop outside or stay inside, and then also our boy Matty Harold Landry to rack up a ton of sacks this season and propel a championship.
Oh yeah, because we just drafted Harold Landry in an IDP league, so we need this pick, Christian Barmore, to open up sack lanes for rushing lanes for Harold Landry. And Harold Landry is a very talented edge rusher, so I don't think edge rusher is their primary need. I think that it is interior line to pair with Jeffrey Simmons because Jeffrey Simmons can't do it alone, and he hasn't been all that fantastic. He is I think he has a lot of potential. He's just not unlocked it yet. And it'll come, but he just needs time. And the next pick is the Jets. They're on the board.
We're going to give it to Bob.
Ooh.
Give it to me.
We're throwing it right to Bob.
Give it
Bob,
to me.
What are the team needs?
Oh, man. I mean, it looks like we're looking at wide receiver, corner, edge, running back. Yeah, I mean,
it's a team I think can take BPA. I think they can go best player available.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, add on the line again. Whoever the best lineman available right now, that's who I want. Whoever you guys think is the best offensive lineman, that's what I want. Because I put something around. We went Wilson here. Put something around him. Give him another offensive player or offensive lineman to, not get him killed back there in year one.
Yep.
I think that's Wyatt Davis. He's a plug and play left guard. I don't think he's the most athletic freak in the class, but he's most technically sound at guard. I think he would be a great pick for their.
You ready to go guard
line? Yeah, I think that this would be the pick that would set a guard pick because there's usually one that sneaks into the first round, and Wyatt Davis is a first round talent in my personal draft board. He's around pick 30, but I think right here, if we're reaching for a lineman, this is my top lineman left, either him or Tevin Jenkins from Oklahoma State.
All right.
So what do you think, Nate? Would you rather go Tevin Jenkins or Wyatt Davis?
I mean, I think Wyatt Davis is fine. I think you don't have to force the tackle pick. So,
definitely. So got him a good guard. I don't think they'd be unhappy about that because they need to protect their new quarterback, Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson is a guy who likes to have time in the pocket. So Wyatt Davis would help him there. Let us know what you think about that pick. Did we reach on Wyatt Davis? Did we reach on putting a guard in the first round? But up next is the Steelers, and I think that this is a pretty obvious pick. I think that they have a need for Naji Harris, but they also have a need for offensive tackle. So I'm going to let Nate do the coin flip. Yes. Samuel Cosme or Naji Harris.
All right. So this is probably like my second favorite landing spot for fantasy purposes. But wait, I love the Naji Harris pick, but I think it's just a smarter pick to go with the offensive tackle here. I think it's Cosme.
Yeah, I like that pick. Jacksonville Jaguars are up. This is a good spot to mock for a corner, end of the round cornerback, because there's usually a corner that'll sneak into the first. But this is also a good spot to put Rondale Moore because Urban Meyer's the coach. They need a wide receiver, and if they don't sign Curtis Samuel in free agency, which is the guy who's been linked to him the most, they could draft a wide receiver. But I'm not going to pick this one because I did Rondale Moore last draft. Bob, what's your pick for this one?
This is a tough one for me. Honestly, I could see them going, pulling kind of an odd move here, maybe, and going tight end, and maybe looking at Pat Freiermuth. Maybe is that something they could do? You think? Maybe.
Yeah, definitely a move they could make. He looks like someone who sells insurance, but he's definitely good on the football field. So I like Pat Freiermuth there, but I think that might be a little bit too early for Pat Freiermuth.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Because I think having Brevin Jordan in the same tier as him knocks his draft value. Because once a team takes Pat Freiermuth, Brevin Jordan's going to go soon. I think that's the trend it's going to be, and teams are going to be afraid to take him because then it's going to push another tight end into the first round. I think that it would be defense, so that's why I threw it over to you.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'm big on corners here. Show me the corner screen, Matty. Go to this corners. I don't mind Aaron Robinson or Newsome. I think I like both those guys.
Mm-hmm. For the sake of it, I think Aaron Robinson should be the pick. He had a lot of experience at Alabama. He showed up at the Senior Bowl and did really well. And then there was a report that teams are valuing him as a first-round pick by I think it was Todd McShay who had him in his mock draft as a first-round pick. So I think Aaron Robinson would be a good pick here. He's from UCF, so that's a good location. And they probably know about this kid. So I think Aaron Robinson's a good pick. Up next is the Cleveland Browns. I think this is another great pick for Bob to choose from because we're talking about defense again. Nate, what are your thoughts on the current Browns situation? What are their team needs in your opinion? Rank them 1 through 3 if you could.
Number 1, I think it's cornerback. I know they had some injuries this year, but I don't think their starting cornerbacks going into the year were good at all. Greedy and somebody else. I don't think there's guys.
Denzel Ward.
Yeah, Denzel Ward's decent, I guess, but he did miss a lot of time. But I think after that, it gets really thin back there, and they got passed on a bunch throughout the season. After that, I'm probably going to say edge, and then probably I think it's all defense. Honestly, I think their top 3 needs are defense. So it also
for me.
Yeah, if they somehow trade OBJ, which I don't think happens with this kind of weird offseason with the cap going down and stuff, no one's going to want to pick up OBJ on his contract. But if they did, they would definitely need to grab a wide receiver. But I think it's definitely defense here.
Yeah. So Bob, do you think that this is a good spot for Zaven Collins?
I'm not against it. They could use, honestly, 2 starting linebackers. I think Jacob Phillips is going to step into a starting role this next season, but they could definitely use another starting linebacker in Zaven Collins, whatever. He's a guy that, he's the highest of high upsides, but I think he's got a floor that is not very fun. Something that we're talking about that we're going to be talking about bust type pick later on in his career. So I like that. I like Zaven Collins. I also like Jalen Phillips. Honestly, I think, you know what? I think I like Jalen Phillips more. I think they need edge help. Somebody to put on the other side of Garrett and, up that pass rush, help those corners. Since I don't really feel there's a value at corner here, having a good pass rush will help them out either way. And I think, Greedy needs to get healthy. Denzel Ward needs to get healthy. If they got those 2, I think they're okay. But
I was not high on Greedy Williams coming out of college. I don't know why everyone had him as a first-round prospect on their boards. I think it was just the LSU effect of being a tall corner for LSU. He was not very good as he was not agile on tape, man. He just used his athleticism and his speed to catch up to people, and that does not work in the NFL as we've seen with Jeff
Right.
Okudah his rookie year. But Jeff Okudah has plenty of time to figure out what he's doing. Greedy Williams has just not shown any kind of progress, even in college. Like Jeff Okudah was good at coverage in college, came into the NFL, struggled. Greedy Williams struggled in college against good wide receivers, struggles in the pro. So I think a cornerback would be a good pick, but there's not one available. I'm throwing this one to Nate, NFL. Nate, you got the Baltimore Ravens. This is your hometown team. Who do you like here and why?
Yeah, so I'm going to be pretty upset if they draft a wide receiver here, honestly, because there's so much depth in this class. They can grab one in the second or third round. I would actually prefer if they grabbed a free agent and then got a wide receiver on day 3, because I don't think the Ravens do well at developing wide receivers. So unless like one of those top 4 guys that we've already picked ended up here, I don't think they should grab a wide receiver. I think you got to go offensive tackle or edge here. I think it's kind of a toss-up depending on who falls. You know, if one of the top offensive tackles fall, if one of the top edge guys fall. Not that they need an offensive tackle unless
Orlando Brown.
Zeus Jr. Orlando Brown is traded. If Orlando Brown's traded, they're going to have to grab a new right tackle. And the only reason I would say offensive tackle here is because you can have a guy move inside. If they do, looking at the board right now, I'm not super about Leatherwood myself. If they were to grab one of these guys, I think it'd probably be Jalen Mayfield. But I think with the current board, we're going to go with edge, an edge rusher. And see, I'm going to have to have a conversation now with Bob, because I know that's the guy I'm thinking. That's the guy I'm thinking. But I also want to hear what Bob thinks here.
I just wasn't impressed with. You're talking Osai is who you were looking at, right?
Yeah.
I just wasn't impressed with his film personally. I need to watch more because everybody says nobody's not real high on him. I seem to be a low man on him, and that's fine. I'm gonna go watch more film on him, obviously. But
did we already draft Phillips? We did.
Yeah.
We see, like that's another guy I would like to see.
Missed him. Just missed him.
Oh, that's right. We did. Yeah. See, that's the guy I like to follow to the Ravens here.
He might.
So, Bob, what are you thinking at edge?
I mean, I love me some Patrick Jones. But no, man, go get your guy for your team. Like I said, some people are higher on Osai than I am, and that's fine. I'm not. Different viewpoints are what makes fantasy football and football analysis so great. I'm fine with the pick. I don't have any ill will. I just wasn't impressed. I don't really have any negatives to give you either. So, like I said, I'm going to go watch more film on him, as many games as I can, because I'm missing.
Do you think Patrick Jones is a first rounder?
I think if he is, he's a tail end. I just think he has the toolkit of a
all right, we're going Patrick Jones then.
Type. Yeah, okay, all right.
I like Patrick Jones. I think he looks like a Raven.
He does. I agree.
Just the end of the day, I think
is it because he looks like a faster Zadarius Smith?
Exactly. Yep. That's exactly why. And I don't think the Ravens are scared to pick a guy like that. So
fair enough.
Nate, are you ready for this pick?
I am super ready for this pick.
Okay, so it's the Saints. The
This
Saints
is
have
Ron
been linked
Hillmore.
to trading. Yep. And the Saints have been linked to trading for Russell Wilson, so they might not even have this pick. So this could just be all hypotheticals, but it's going to be Terrace Marshall Jr. for me. I think Terrace Marshall Jr. is a great red zone wide receiver. I think that they need someone to replace Michael Thomas eventually and step into his role. Can't guard Mike, can't stay unguarded forever because he didn't do so well this year because of injuries. Terrace Marshall Jr. is great in the red zone. He's great over the middle of the field, great over the rails because he's tall. I like Terrace Marshall Jr. here. I think he's a good pick, and he's from LSU. I don't think they want to miss on another LSU wide receiver.
All right. I mean, I was really thinking of going Rondell Moore here. I know Bob was on the same page, but I mean, I get it, I guess.
We can go Rondell Moore too because I like the fit with Sean Payton.
I think the Sean Payton thing is what sells it for me.
Yeah, I think.
But also,
I
get the hometown guy, so I see it either way.
I like Rondell Moore here. I think we need to sneak him into the first round, and then let's Bob get some flexibility with this next pick because he's a Packers fan. He's allowed to pick his Packers team player. Bob, who are we going for the Packers, and why is it Naji Harris?
It's definitely not Naji Harris. You got me there. No, man. I really wish there was a corner here I liked more than Newsome. There's not really an offensive tackle I like, so I was honestly kind of hoping you'd pass on Rondale Moore and Packers could have him. But I'm happy taking Terrace Marshall to the Packers as well. I think I think that's a pick for me. Give Rodgers a nice number 2 that is not just a tree out there. And then why sign Aaron Jones when you can just draft Michael Carter in the second?
Yeah. I mean, I like that. I like that.
He's still my beating heart.
I like that move. But this next pick coming up is a little controversial. This is where you could see a running back go. This is where I like to put Naji Harris, but there's another name on the board that I like a lot to this team, and it's because of their head coach, Sean McDermott, and his connections to Carolina in the past. There's a linebacker on the board that is reminiscent of a linebacker that played for the Carolina Panthers. I'm not going to say any names because I don't want anyone to roast me for this. And
wow,
okay. There's a Zaven Collins on the board, and I like Zaven Collins a lot to the Buffalo Bills at this pick. Bob, what do you think about Zaven Collins fitting in this defense? Because Tremaine Edmonds, while being a tackle machine, not so good in coverage.
Yeah, I don't mind that. If they can retain Matt Milano, this pick is, a little redundant, but which I don't necessarily think that they will. I think he'll be franchised or he'll walk. No, I don't mind the pick, provided Matt Milano moves on. And the thing with Collins is he is a guy who will make plays, or can make plays, I should say, and that's something Edmonds just hasn't had.
Yeah,
so,
and Zaven
I don't mind
Collins
that pick.
is always around. Yeah, Zaven Collins is always around the ball, and that's something I like to see from my linebackers. I really like Zaven Collins in this class, so I think that he's a perfect fit, and this would be a great IDP fantasy spot for Zaven Collins. So we're going to give him Zaven Collins. Up next is the Chiefs pick. I know that Nate really wants to make this pick.
I do.
He's a big Chiefs fan, big Mahomes fan. He thinks that Mahomes is his favorite quarterback. So we're going to let Nate make the pick.
Oh, wow. Okay. So Bob, I know that the Chiefs went linebacker last year and it didn't work out super great. Do you think they could double up here?
They could, because all of their linebackers are gone, except for Hitchens and Willie Gay.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm super high on Willie Gay coming into this year, is because there's nobody else. They'd have to re-sign almost their entire linebacker room. But yeah, they could absolutely draft someone here.
They could go linebacker, or they could, shore up that offensive line. They got to protect Mahomes. They have a 10-year deal with him. They better protect him. So I could see Tevin Jenkins. I could see Jalen Mayfield. I think at this spot, because of the versatility, I think Tevin Jenkins is probably my pick. I think the Chiefs make a smart pick here and just grab offensive tackle. Jenkins can play like 3 or 4 different positions on the offensive line. You can put him on either side at tackle and put him inside if you need to. So I think it's a pick for a team that, if they had a healthy offensive line, might have put up a much better fight in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree. The tackle position definitely killed their chances at winning a second Super Bowl for a repeat. But
I also wouldn't hate. I don't know if everyone else is there with me, but I wouldn't hate Jabril Cox to this in a 31 to the Chiefs.
I like Jabril Cox. He's really good
Bob,
in coverage. He showed up at the Senior Bowl.
I'm not a big Jabril Cox fan, to be fully honest. But for all the little teenage listeners at home, then you would have Cox and Gay as your starting linebackers. So
Doesn't seem like a bad thing.
depends who you are, I guess. But for Tampa Bay, let's get away from that right now. For Tampa Bay, there's two people on the board that I really like, and that is Aziz Ojulari. God bless you. They're probably losing Shaq Barrett in free agency. They could use a nice budding prospect to put on the other side of JPP. Even if Shaq Barrett stays, they need somebody to develop and put in there. The other pick that I really like, and I want your guys' opinion on this, is Naji Harris.
I could see it. I definitely could see it.
Maybe, it'd be very, symmetrical to last year. The Chiefs taking up a running back, pick 32, Super Bowl championship team. They let Leonard Fournette walk because he's probably going to want too much money. Ronald Jones is Ronald Jones. Some people are on the Jones bandwagon. I'm not really, kind of. And that's only because I have one share of him. Otherwise, I probably would be off him. But, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, they're going to need a guy eventually to take some load off Brady. And why not let Naji?
You know what the perfect pick for the Bucs is in the second round?
Michael Carter.
No.
That would be the perfect pick for the Bucs in the second round.
The Packers are going to take him.
No, the Bucs are going to get him. They're going to get Michael Carter. It's going to look great down there in pass protection.
You want your Packers to have him.
Going to be getting
you want your Packers
all those receptions. Going to be just looking like Doug Martin in the run game. It's going to be great.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know about Naji Harris at this point. I think it's a little bit of a reach for the Buccaneers. JPP, Ndamukong Suh. There's other old pieces that need to be replaced. William Golston's getting meaningful snaps at edge and interior, so I think they need to get someone in there. This is a place that I like. Levi from Washington. Not even Levi O, we'll call him. He's a really good 3-tech. And then there's Davion Nixon from Iowa, who I love. I cannot say enough about this kid. Reminds me of Larry Ogunjobi from the Browns. Really good interior defensive lineman. And he would be my favorite. This is my favorite landing spot for Nixon besides the Detroit Lions.
I think I agree. I think it's an edge or a defensive line here. I think it just seems like a very Bucks pick. So, there's a couple guys the edge I could definitely see here. There's 2 or 3 guys on there that could probably go here if the Bucks want them.
Mm-hmm. I think Joseph Osai fits this defense. I think Aziz Ojulari also fits this defense. Aziz Ojulari is very bendy, very flexible. I think that Todd Bowles would love to get his hands on a raw prospect like this and just mold him into a beautiful statue of an edge rusher because that's what Todd Bowles does. I think that Aziz Ojulari, God bless you, would be a great pick here. So I think it's going to be Aziz.
JPP was my comp for Ojulari. So
there we go. Makes sense.
Say no more. That's the end of our draft. To run down it, we have the first 5 picks here: Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Penei Sewell, Justin Fields, Rashawn Slater.
I just want to say, before the comments come out on YouTube, I mocked Zach Wilson to the Jets because I think it's what they are going to do, not what they should do. Justin Fields is my quarterback too.
Yep. And then
so it sounds like you think that's what they should do. That's what I heard.
From 6 to 10, we have Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith, Caleb Farley, Micah Parsons, and Patrick Surtain. A lot of corners and a lot of wide receivers there. We got Shoddy B to the New York Giants. That was a little controversial pick. I know Nate did not agree with it. He said he's not associated with that pick at all. And then we got Trey Lance to the San Francisco 49ers. I really like that fit. Let us know what you think about Trey Lance. Is he going to be the quarterback for the 49ers, or do you think they move up and try to make a move for Fields? Let us know, because we're interested to see what you guys feel too, because like we said, we're making educated guesses based on the past. So up next, Kyle Pitts to the LA Chargers. Great fit. J.C. Horn to the Minnesota Vikings. My cornerback 1 off the board. Mac Jones to the New England Patriots. Yeah, makes sense. Jalen Waddle to the Arizona Cardinals just to enrage the Dolphins fans. Gregory Rousseau to the Las Vegas Raiders. We got Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah to the Miami Dolphins. Elijah Vera Tucker, the guy who will punch you in the mouth, to the Washington at 19. Don't know why it's Washington's, but that's a pretty cool name. Chicago Bears to Christian Darrisaw. Indianapolis Colts to Kwity Paye. It was a great value pick for them there. Tennessee Titans took Christian Barmore. New York Jets took Wyatt Davis. The Pittsburgh Steelers took Samuel Cosmi. The Jacksonville Jaguars, with their second pick, took Aaron Robinson, a cornerback out of UCF, who very technically sound, showed up at the Senior Bowl. It would be a good pick to pair next to their young guy in C.J. Henderson. So, the next pick was Jalen Phillips, which is what Nate wanted to fall to the Ravens, but the Browns ended up stealing his mans from Miami. I like Jalen Phillips a little better than Gregory Rousseau. I'm going to throw that out there right now. So I like Jalen Phillips a lot. I think he's got a lot of talent. So Patrick Jones is our next pick to the Baltimore Ravens. This is Bob and my guy, dude. We love Patrick Jones. He's going to be a target in our IDP league for us. I don't know about you, Nate, but keep your hands away from him. So I shouldn't have said that out loud, Bob. New Orleans Saints took Rondale Moore, the offensive weapon. He doesn't really have a true position because he's just a weapon, man. You could put him anywhere and he'll do damage. If you're playing in fantasy leagues with return yards, you should really look at getting Rondale Moore. He would be a great asset. Green Bay Packers taking Terrace Marshall Jr. I like that pick a lot, giving Aaron Rodgers another weapon. Zaven Collins going to the Buffalo Bills at pick 30. That's a Sean McDermott kind of pick. I like it. And then with the Kansas City Chiefs, they take a left tackle, right tackle combo in Tevin Jenkins. He's a really good swing tackle. He's probably the guy that I say is a borderline first in this class. And then with the Bucks, we finish it out with Azeez Ojulari. What are your guys' thoughts on this draft? Did you like it? And we're gonna put out more. So in the coming days, you'll see another. We're going to do a rookie draft for Dynasty leagues next week, and then we'll do another NFL mock draft, hopefully with Nate again. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let us know where you guys can find us, Bob and Nate. Where can we find you guys, and what are you guys working on?
Yeah, so you can find me at Nate NFL. I'm working, of course, with Dynasty Rewind, which is top-notch stuff over on the Patreon, and also doing some work over at DynastyOwner.com, which is a great platform if you really want to challenge yourself with fantasy football. And over the Dynasty Notes too, doing some rankings for them. So a little bit of everywhere. Catch me on Twitter. I'll be doing a lot of stuff this offseason on incoming rookies.
Yeah, I saw that Javonte Williams RB1 post. It was a good one.
No.
Dynasty Owner sets their own titles for Nate's articles, so do not attack him about those article posts. Nate had a traumatic experience with Twitter, so don't do him like that, Dynasty Owner, if you're listening. Bob Van, where can we find you at, and what are you working on, man?
You can find me at BobVan_IDP on the Twitter. I'm doing a lot right now. I'm doing a lot of draft profiles at Fantasy Six Pack. I'm doing a ton with you guys at Dynasty Rewind, cranking out articles on the Patreon, doing these videos, these draft videos with y'all. And I'm just trying to, keep contributing any way I can and help out. And we got a long road to the draft yet, and we got a lot of more drafts coming out. So stay tuned. Let us know what picks you like, what picks maybe shouldn't have been first rounders, what picks should be. Roast us in the comments. I don't care. We'll find a way to justify these picks one way or another. So
yeah, I want to see the Rashod Bateman went too high kind of takes. So let me see that in the comments. Because they're gonna be there. So Rashod,
I hope so, man. I'm
as
here
Ray
for
GQ
it.
likes to call him. I like David Gettleman's picks, and I think that Kelvin Benjamin was a great draft selection. So I think Rashod Bateman would be great for the Giants too. But yeah, that's it for us, guys. We're just trying to make the world a better place here at the Dynasty Rewind. So hit subscribe. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Dynasty Rewind. You'll find the show. And with that, boys, we're out.